Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Bring It On. Off camera, I did manage to find the Assassin's Guild. It took me a little bit of time. We're currently here in the middle city. This portal here takes us up to this one, just west of the 10,000 Delights. If we turn our camera this way, there's a door. Luckily, when I first ran past this area, this was already exposed. Had it not been, I probably wouldn't have thought to check here. I found it pretty well hidden. But I got lucky. Our assassins won't work for less. We'll hire a couple thugs in the lower city if your pockets are empty. Boulder, Blood Moon, Yaz, Tiger of Sin. What does this outsider want? Get rid of him, Boulder. Bloodmoon only speaks to those she fancies, those who pay her, and those she was ordered to kill. What can I say about that, Boulder? Groot stares at you sullenly, but his lips remain sealed. Same description as Boulder. Let's do a once around look for loot before we speak to Yaz. That Horzala is ruining everything. Keeps nagging all of us to death. I left my sword in the guard's neck, so I strangled him with the whip he used on the slaves. Work harder, or I'll make a punching bag out of you. And the newbies will practice their skills on you. We heard about the newbie. They say he's dangerous. Find the newbie? I am dangerous. Alright, let's speak to Yaz. Actually, this looks like a fight.
Search for the beauty with your heart, not your eyes.
Oh. No, Master. I'll try harder. Yeah, Yaz is keeping an eye on him. He'll be a new member soon. And he'll get all the best contracts. Bloody hell. That's neatly done. Reminds me of that time Quasit guards confiscated all my shivs, and to stab my target with a letter opener.
You require my unbiased opinion?
And even if there's not a fight here, we're going to go back to the Nexus and rest afterwards, so no harm in using some cooldowns. The demon standing before you clearly has a penchant for jewelry. His fingers are covered in rings. 3 gold chains encircle his neck, and 4 bejeweled earrings sparkle on each of his ears. However, such exquisite adornments are not enough to hide the fact that he is a hardened warrior, a ruthless killer. His face and hands are covered in long, badly healed scars, and he moves as gracefully as the most skilled swordsman. The demon's lips curl in a satisfied sneer as he greets you loudly. Look who's here. It's the arrogant Galarian who disposed of our poor Willidus. He catches your eye and frowns slightly, giving a pointed glance towards his bodyguards. You aren't about to do something really stupid and start a massacre here, right? Can we just talk? Nod towards the projection. This sword thing is one of yours, isn't it? Horzala? Yes. This little demoness is one of my most useful servants. Besides, it's so very prestigious to have a daughter of Baphomet working under you. Yaz glances at the horned demon with a mix of condescension and possessiveness. She stares fixedly at the floor. Yes, Master. I am your servant. For a fleeting moment, you notice a shadow of angry displeasure cross her face. A spark of fear flashes in Yaz's eyes, like a boy who realizes he's gone too far when testing the patience of his parents. Who are you? Leader of this gang of assassins? The demon gives a dignified nod. Yes, and I'm proud of it. The abyss is full of butchers and monsters, so anyone who chooses to be an assassin among monsters and butchers commands a high level of respect. If they live long enough to make a name for themselves, of course. My guild attracts assassins from many planes. No one hires us for simple things, like murdering noisy neighbors, or cutting the throat of a cheating merchant. As I'm sure you know, it's easier and cheaper to do that yourself, and there's no need to get assassins involved. No, if someone turns to an assassin, it means that the victim is a dangerous, cunning, and well-protected target. I've heard a lot about you, Yaz. You're that of a highly reputable guild that operates on many planes besides the Abyss. Many of my colleagues would consider it an honor to work alongside you, unlike myself. Tell me the truth right now. Yaz raises his hands apologetically. Several rings glitter on his fingers. Fine, fine. I was the one who actually gave Greybor assignments. I need to light a little fire underneath this cauldron where so many minions of demon lords are being mixed together. I ordered him to murder those demons in Canabras. I put a hit out on Darzon, although that ugly idiot didn't bother me at all. But he was an ugly idiot indeed, an eventual one to boot. That's why I gave Greybor a dagger that was only supposed to wound the Baylor, and that is why using Willidus' name was important. It was a perfect hand of cards. Darazan survived after suffering a painful, humiliating wound by a mortal's hand. No offense, of course. The Baylor couldn't simply let that go, so he started a vendetta against Willidus, begging other Deskerites into it. And that was my goal all along, because Willidus was my real target, a target that was very difficult to reach. Yaz seems to revel in his own cleverness. He smirks and smiles with smug satisfaction. The dwarf gives a grim chuckle and whispers loudly enough to be heard. People like you are why us assassins have such a lousy reputation. No respect for agreements. You acted dishonorably. You expect an assassin to be honorable. What touching naivety. The demon sneers derisively and toys with a giant diamond ring. Catching Greybor's disapproving stare, he gives a dazzling smile, seemingly pleased to have provoked a reaction. What concerns me is not the contract killing itself, but the fact I haven't yet been paid a single coin. You're the head of the Assassin's Guild. Why didn't you send your underlings after Willidus? Yaz grimaces slightly, replies with visible displeasure. Who says I didn't? I lost a number of capable killers. He collects himself quickly, the arrogant smile returns to his face. And yet, as you can see, I found a more elegant and economical way to execute this plan. I won't lie to you, this kind of plotting makes me very proud of my own guile. Greybor snorts derisively. So these are your guild's finest. They hardly seem professional. It looks like Greybor and I reached Willidus before your killers. Yaz smirks and gives a dismissive wave. Oh please. I had no intention of sending anyone after him, but my assistants made sure that every larva in the city knew about the bounty on Willidus' head. I knew that Greybor returned to Lucianira, and decided to use him, once more. Just like poor Darzon, he had no idea that he was merely a pawn of mine. Just as I envisioned, you didn't linger, and paid him a visit before anyone else could. I had no doubt that paranoid Willidus would try to kill anyone who crossed his doorstep, but I expected you to overcome him, and I was right. Why did you do all of this? For money and power, of course. This has been my primary motivation for many years now. Somebody wanted that old woodlouse dead, and clever Yaz has fulfilled their wish, with the expectation of being showered in privileges and treasures. You're getting a share of those privileges and treasures, by the way. I trust you're not going to refuse a reward provided for freelance operatives. Trust me, the sum is considerable. Yaz turns his attention to Greybor and adds, I haven't forgotten about you either. You'll be rewarded in proportion to your truly astonishing lethality. Accept the reward. Oh, I'll take the gold. Don't you worry. The demon flashes his perfect, sharp teeth, and then snaps his fingers. Suddenly, a thick purse appears in front of you, smelling of exquisite perfume. I had no doubt we'd come to an understanding. After all, we share a common language, the language of gold. Since it was my reputation that was damaged as a result of this plot, I consider it fair to lay claim to 20% of the total fee. Give 20% to Greybor. That is only fair. Greybor nods and gives a grunt of satisfaction. I appreciate your integrity when it comes to business, Don Quixote. As for you, Greybor, you've proven your competence. As a token of apology, allow me to offer you membership of my Assassin's Guild. Consider it the recognition of your talents that you have long desired. I promise you prestige, respect, and truly staggering fees. Of course, I won't demand that you sever your current contract. You may claim your well-deserved place in our guild when it expires. So then, what do you say? Will I be welcoming you to the big league? Greybor turns to you with a very serious expression. His voice is reserved and formal. Don Quixote, we're bound by an active agreement, and therefore I must consult your opinion on this invitation. Are you truly prepared to throw your lot in with demons? The heavy sigh, Dwarf looks you straight in the eye. Is there really much of a difference between me and them? They're the product of the worst parts of our mortal souls. They're a sin incarnate. Many say the same thing about me. I was never a coward. I'm able to admit that my soul is black and evil. I murder others for money, and I shall never become a respectable member of society, a friend, or a father. But I'm tired of asking forgiveness for what I am. Here, I will not be judged for my profession. Greybor clenches his fists and mutters through gritted teeth. I'm not the freak or monster they think me back on Golarion. How dare they hire me to murder their enemies, and they despise me for my profession. They'll treat me differently in the Abyss. The demons respect my skills. They'll treat me as a professional, not a criminal or a blackguard. It's strange to say this, but I don't feel out of place here. Have you thought about quitting the business? And become what? A farmer? A butler? Or maybe an innkeeper? One of those who tell tall tales about their adventurous youth to drunk patrons. My soul is that of a wanderer and a killer. My art is my only source of pride, and abandoning it will make me useless in my own eyes. Believe me, I already tried to settle down and find an honest job. Nothing good came from it. I shall quit my profession only when I'm judged by Pharasma herself. I have no idea. I feel like I don't know him well enough to make the decision that's going to lead to his good ending. So it's your decision to make. Greybor studies you for a moment, and nods respectfully. Such words make me respect you even more. Believe me, I appreciate your willingness to let this decision be entirely my own. Okay, looks like I made the right one. The dwarf does not waste words as he looks at Yaz. Where do I sign? What are you talking about? We're not devils after all. Yaz laughs and claps his hands loudly. Splendid. You've got a bright future here, my diminutive yet deadly friend. Yaz gives a bored yawn. There's no finality to his tone. Well, this was a very enlightening conversation. I see no reason why we should continue. You've received your answers. It should probably be on your way. Meanwhile, I should get back to plotting another bloody and violent murder. Have a good day. After a suspicious glance in Yaz's direction, Greybor turns to you. Indeed, this was an unexpected meeting. You want to discuss what happened privately. I'm at your service, Commander. Alright, well let's go back to the Nexus, speak to Greybor, rest up, and then go hire some succubi.
Follow my lead.
I don't know, I'm trying really hard to like Greybor, but there's just something about him that I don't like. I can't quite put my finger on it. I didn't really care about his story about his abandoning his family. But that adds some character to the character, I think. Maybe it's his single-minded devotion to his reputation that I don't care for. Perhaps I should thank you for your help. You assisted me in dealing with all of Yaz's schemes, even though you didn't need to do so. I'm grateful for that. Can you explain to me just what kind of mess we've involved ourselves in? Greybor pauses for a moment, then slowly begins to explain. An anonymous client ordered Yaz, the head of the Assassin's Guild of Elutionira, to kill Willidus. He tried to take the target down several times, but Willidus turned out to be quite a tough nut to crack. Then Yaz gave me a few anonymous assignments. I killed Darazan, tell him that Willidus sent his best regards. Jeez. However, Yaz gave me a weapon that could only wound Darazan, not kill him. He hoped it would provoke Darazan, make him angry enough to go kill Willidus himself. Of course, you killed Darazan before he even had a chance to do anything else. When Yaz found out that we were both in the Abyss, and that I'd be eager to talk to Willidus, he started to give me hints as to where to find this fellow. He lived up to his expectations. Willidus died. I'm sure you remember what happened next, as well as I do. So we killed Willidus for no reason. The dwarf smirks cynically. Well, it depends on how you look at it. Was he to blame for the damage to my reputation? No. Was he an utterly disgusting creature whose face practically begged me to sink an axe into it? Did he try to kill us in his own manner? Were the creatures we encountered in said manner the most atrocious and perverted things I've ever met? The answer to all these questions is yes. I don't think anyone is going to cry themselves asleep over his death, and neither should we. Your reputation has been restored. How do you feel? There's a spark of amusement in the dwarf's eyes. Don't panic. So make people think twice before attempting to ruin my good name. But I'm grateful my companions didn't leave me to deal with this by myself, even though they had every right to do so. Though I'm used to working alone, I appreciate a team I can trust. It's good to have someone who's got my back. Yeah, someone who chases glory. Option 2 makes sense. Protecting one's honor is important. Greybor nods in agreement. Who do we be without a reputation? A bunch of opportunistic scoundrels who'd be driven away from every door. A dishonorable life isn't worth a copper, says the guy who abandoned his family. What do you think of your membership of the Assassin's Guild of Ira? Greybor has a smug smile beneath his beard. I think this position rightfully belongs to me. This guild is not as infamous as the Red Mantis, legendary fanatic assassins who perceive their victims as offerings to their god Jaikek? Or the silent monks of Anaphexia, who guard some kind of secret knowledge, murder anyone who dares to touch it. But its name still means something to the discerning client. Ira is a crossroads between several different planes, and Yaz's assassins work not only in the Abyss and on Golarion, but also in many other interesting places. The fact that I was accepted into this society is undeniable proof of my professionalism. I'm grateful that you did not insist on the exclusivity of our contract, but allowed me to reap the benefits of my hard work. I think everything is clear now. You've been a good employer, Commander. I'm glad I made this contract with you. You've managed to restore your reputation and join the guild. What about our contract? You want to terminate it? The dwarf begins to count off his fingers one at a time. First, it would have been highly unprofessional to abandon you after you helped me. Second, the war is still in full swing. There you go. My departure would have been a source of gossip, which in turn would have damaged my reputation beyond repair. I don't want people to perceive me as a coward who fled from a good fight. Third, I've long since discovered that working for you is profitable in more ways than one. You're always trying to take down the most dangerous targets, and they make great additions to my trophy list. Should put resume here. Alright, cool. Let's rest up. I have no idea why you're even with us on the crusade. No offense, you could be swanning around a ballroom somewhere, not dodging demon traps. Balls are hectic affairs, and I cannot abide crowds. Traveling with friends and fighting for a common cause is more to my liking. And if you're constantly on the move, it's hard to be pegged for murder.
I'll go ahead.
Alright, goodbye Greybor, and hello, Lan. Alright, so I'm not going to fret about pre-buffing, because it sounds like a typical fetch quest. We just go there, talk, and leave. There might be fighting, so I might end up regretting this, but only time will tell. It's possible their current client might want to pick a fight with me.
I know the way.
Where is it at?
I know what to do. Follow my lead.
Alright, quick save just to be safe, and in we go.
Can't hide from me.
I finished here. Is there more?
One of the succubi gives you a sharp smile. She scoops up another handful of gold, carefully tucks it away in her pockets. What do you want? Hope this sleaze bag wasn't a friend of yours. Think carefully before you answer. The succubus nods towards the mauled corpse. Drusilla looks around the house and shakes her head. A night with a succubus, and it ends in death. A typical love story in the abyss. Who are you, and what are you doing here? Succubus glances at her companions and gives you a sly smile. We're the delightful and deadly succubi of the 10,000 Delights. I'm sure you've heard of us. And this was one of our clients. This horny pervert was enthusiastic in bed, but stingy with his purse. So stingy, in fact, the girls and I decided it would just be easier to kill him and take his money. Succubus pouts slightly, throwing a resentful glance at the demon's remains. Well, she just told us why. Did you kill your own client? That's disgraceful. Oh, did you hear that, girls? This mortal has morals. Well, I've got news for you, sweetie. This is the abyss. Nobody cares. So what if someone trusts you? Slit their throat. Stab them in the back. It's only disgraceful if you wait too long. And they do it to you first. I'd like to hire you. I want you to entertain the champion of the arena. The succubus looks intrigued. She exchanges a glance with her friends, and there's a mischievous light in her eyes. You've just seen the dead body of our former client, and you still want to hire us. You just really like to take risks. Or maybe you just really hate this champion of yours. Either way, we'll take the job, as long as you pay. 40,000 gold. We're all yours, handsome. I've already paid your mistress for your services. Succubus shrugs and responds in a petulant voice. But you haven't paid us. You made a deal with the mistress. You should take it up with her if you want something done. Don't come running to us. You stop trying to take advantage of me. It won't end well. The succubus chuckles, but eyes you warily. You're not one to be trifled with, are you? We love such stern clients. Fine. We'll make sure the mistress pays us what we're owed, but we'll deal with that later. Right now, it's time for us to get to work. See you at the Battle Bliss. Let's find out if the champion is as good as they say. Actually, let me go back in there, make sure none of those doors are perception checks. Just to be safe.
Meditate on your mistakes. Might make you feel better.
Alright. Let's blow this popsicle stand and get back to the Battle Bliss.
That is not far.
What quest do I still have in the brothel? Experiencing the bliss. Wasn't that Melia's quest? Oh no. Okay. Talk to Zeklex. Or Zeklix. Zeklex. Zeklex greets you politely. How can I be of assistance? I arranged a deal with the succubi. Ah, I'm glad to hear it. Your help in these matters is invaluable, since I cannot attend to them myself. I think you'll find the reward for your assistance is quite generous. I've arranged a fight for you, against a member of the Nahindrian League. Please let me know as soon as you're ready. You haven't paid me enough. The deal with the succubi cost more than expected. You still owe me money. Tiefling looks at you closely, and shakes his head. I know the rates of service at the 10,000 delights. The sum I gave you was more than enough to cover the cost. I'm not ready to enter the arena yet. We got a pre-buff for that.
I am prepared.
So let's take care of that. We'll call it an episode, and in the next one we will enter the arena and continue with the arena questline. See if we can't find
Thank you for inviting me on this journey.
Social's brother.
Risking life and limb, facing countless dangers. Perhaps I shouldn't thank you.
The world has suffered enough.
Also, I don't think Bismuth has his equipment on, because he's taking it off for whatever reason. Super annoying to keep him equipped. Got a decent armor class. It's better than hers. Jamie can't wear barding.
I will lend you my aid.
So I did give him magical vestment in exchange for, I think, remove curse. Because he still has a +2, I think, armor. Might be +3. It's only +2, so we can enhance that, while also keeping the awesome effect that it has. So now he should be getting a +4 because he's not level 20 yet. Now let me check it real fast. This says +2. Alright, he's getting +7 from flowing scales. That's... oh, I guess I didn't enhance it. Maybe I misunderstood the spell. Also, I swapped out a couple other castings of something. Don't remember what it was for cleanse.
Oh, yes, what? The struggles never cease.
Okay, who else does not have... What is this? Oh yeah, this is the other item I forgot to mention, was the Wardmaster's Amulet. I think Woljif had this equipped, since he's the person that cast Death Ward on my party members, for the most part, except for Sela taking care of herself. That's a good item to have.
You call. You must be doing it wrong. Anything new?
And I swapped out a couple of spells for more bark skins with the Rushlai as well. So a few party members who don't have natural armor. Alright, I'm gonna call the episode here. In the next one, I'll speak with Zeklex, do the next fight in the arena, and continue towards, well, 2 quest lines. 1, becoming the arena champion, and 2, saving Sosul's brother. But for now, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.